Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? Today we're going to use some of these beautiful sacred spirit cards that I love. I love the light and the colors, it's so beautiful. Now leading the way to me, lighting your own way, your own path, your own journey. It's like we get to charter the map and the direction we want to go and the things we want to experience and the things we want to see. The only thing that makes us feel like this isn't necessarily true is if we are not being mindful, if we're not living in a mindful way, in a present way, because then we go on autopilot and we just do the things that we did because subconsciously we know, oh, well, this is safe. This doesn't expand, but this doesn't harm. I've done this yesterday, the day before, the day before. But that's also where we can accrue non-beneficial patterns, right? Like it could be overindulging in something. It could be we just have a deficiency in something. We're not learning as much as we could and taking those moments when if we were mindful, we would really pay attention to what that person was saying. I kind of equate it to, have you ever read a paragraph or a page over and over and over and it's just not going in and you're like, why aren't I absorbing this? That means we're going through the motion of reading, but we're not mindful and we're not paying attention to the nuance in each words and the sentence, and we are not present with what we're doing. We're usually thinking of something else. Have you ever been doing something that's like really present? You've just been on a walk and it's so beautiful there and you love it, but you know soon you're leaving perhaps on your last lap. All of a sudden, all you're thinking about now on this last lap is, oh, I got to find my keys. I might have to get gas. I have to do yada, yada, yada. And that last lap you don't even really experience because your head is elsewhere. Our mind is such a powerful tool to lead us into a strong, new, expansive path, or to kind of just stay on that treadmill of habitual patterns. But this is a time to, coordinate something new, conduct that new orchestra, operate differently, and produce different results because we understand, yes, we want to go, and our body and our mind, especially if we're overstimulated, will want to go on autopilot and just do the same thing. But then also we are reacting instead of responding because it's learned behaviors instead of acclimatizing and expanding and revamping the way that we should, because we don't want to react, we want to respond, but also give time in between that response. Because mindfulness is like, oh, I don't have to say something right away. I don't have to respond right away. I don't have to give a yes. I don't have to impulsively agree with something. I can really just formulate my own opinion and take a moment. And if it's worth speaking up on, I will. If not, I'll just let it go. We can edit the picture that's already there of ourselves in a really beautiful way, which brings us to love and light and act with care. Slow down. That's what mindfulness is. It's like if we got a coloring book and we were coloring with a toddler and we just wanted to hurry through it and we just grabbed a purple crayon and colored the whole page purple in like a minute because we just wanted to finish. We wanted a finished result. But where's the creativity? Where's the flourish? Where's the wonder? What have we earned doing this? Not a lot, right? We've just gone through some motions and lacked imagination. But when we act with care, we want to see all the colors. We want to blend everything. We want it to be beautiful. This also has to do with how we speak to ourselves and others. Think too, like when you go out, and this happened to me the other day and I started laughing because I was like, oh, this is not a good look for this company. And it was at Starbucks and I just wanted a plain egg sandwich on a English muffin, just something really, really simple. And she was like, oh, we only have this and that. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And I realized I could just take those things off. The weirdest thing was, I guess it's quite steamy when you put it like in the bag, and if there's any cheese, the cheese can stick to the side of the thing. But when I opened the bag, it literally looked like I couldn't recognize what was in there because it was in 3 different pieces and it looked crazy. And I was like, what is happening? And then I realized, oh, they just sort of like shoved it in a bag while it was still, I feel like it's cold, so it like all slid apart in different things. And so then when they steamed it, it just looked nuts. And I thought, that's the thing with acting with care. If you go slowly and you're paying attention to what you're doing, you're not going to have this haphazard result of things in pieces. Moving mindfully, define how you want this thing to turn out. Yesterday, when I was making some bracelets, I was pre-lining everything up so I could see, oh yeah, these little colors and tiny seed beads in there make the light pop, and it's really beautiful. Just really acting with care. If you're going to initiate something, carve out the time to be able to do that. Be charged with excitement, really customize it to you and how you would do this. And at any time, we can rehabilitate this acting with care. Because sometimes, we will want to speed a process up that we have conditioned ourselves to think is not fun, but it really is okay. Like I don't particularly love dishes, but when I listen to podcasts and do things, it's an enjoyable activity. And mindfully, before I start, I think, yay, this is going to accomplish something. We'll all have clean dishes, get to listen to a fun podcast. Here we go. That sort of thing. But acting with care and everything is important. It also means we're mindful. It saves us from accidents. It saves us from saying or responding with anger or misinformation, because we're thinking about it before we speak that, right? It really transforms us. Now let's look into spiritual evolution. Set your heart free. Honestly, there's so many things we should not be paying attention to or care about. I hear people talk about in the comments, on IG, all this stuff. People being concerned and addicted to their phone because they want to know what people think about them. Honestly, I only care about what people think about me insofar as how I treat them and things like that. Not these just dime a dozen opinions of whatever, how someone looks, how their voice is, so on and so forth. It's like, what an absolute waste of time. Or comparison, that's a waste of time. Set your heart free. We spiritually evolve when we pay attention to the things we need to pay attention to. I was talking about this the other day about watching Dune. I love that when you saw the Fremen in the desert, that it was like, it's a very simple life. They are a tribe. They look after each other. They protect their water. And it's so beautiful because there's no excess. There's no, except for sand, there's no excess of things. And people really don't have these crazy egos because everybody's wearing the same thing, a still suit, because they need to survive. And life is very simple and pure. You protect each other and you have great conversations, and it's very Bedouin as well, which is really cool. It's very tribal and nomadic and desert, and it's really beautiful. Things like that. They're not worried about when you think about that, and then you think of people. They're so worried about their spring wardrobes or how they're perceived on IG and all this stuff. It seems rather silly, doesn't it? When our only concern should really be like our health and our family's health and happy plans and treating each other well, and what is our gardens doing, things like that. Really refocusing on our energy on the special things and the things that matter, and the gifts we can provide other people with in terms of listening and caring and showing up and all of those things. Life doesn't need to be so taut and so tight. It can be supported and loose and free. And we don't have to be perfectionists, and we don't have to be attention starved and thirsty and needy. You know what I mean? We can, once we're free of that, it's so funny. The things that we want really just come in, then it's like value is there. And that's what this is about, having true value in our life and paying attention to the right things. I was watching Summer House the other day. I love watching some of these reality shows at times. And I was really sad about how some of the couples, when they wake up, the first thing they do was grab their phones. And you knew they just went immediately on social media. And then it was almost like when their spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend was talking to them, it was bothering them because it was interrupting some like bizarre ego ritual of, who's paying attention to my pictures and all of this. And that really is a telltale sign of our society becoming more singular based instead of communal and couple. So it's one of those things where now I feel like there is an unfolding of more inclusivity, of just family and special time, as opposed to all this other weird stuff that's out there. So my beauties, love and light, I hope you have a great day, and that is what you're meant to hear today.